Alright, so what was our learning target yesterday and today?
Are you going to check?
Fantastic. So, what we did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was we had a leading coefficient of 1, where you just multiplied together to get C, added to get B, and you had to watch your signs. This time we use the star method. So remember, you have to first multiply A times C and put it in the top of the star. Then put B here, A, and then factor. So yesterday we practiced on this one, and we said step 1 was to multiply A times C, then factor it. So when we did 7 times 4, what did we get? And we had to find two numbers that multiplied together to give us 28 and added to give us 29. So step 2 was add to get B. So what two numbers did we get, multiplied to get 28 and added to get 29?
21.
Look at us go. Alright, step 3 was to reduce our fraction. So, this was our first fraction. Could that guy reduce? No, so we wrote it in our parentheses. And let's draw an arrow from here to here and here to here. Draw 2 arrows, please, in your notes. And then we reduce the other side, and 7/28 is reduced to 1/4. So we put 1 and 4 in our other parentheses. Now, why did we not write the 1? Because we never do. We don't have to do that, do we?
Nope.
And we put the 4. Why were they both positive? Because we didn't have any negatives, and B was positive. So now, just in case you forgot, on the paper, on the board, the front board up there, I wrote that if C is negative, look at B and wrote our steps. And if C is positive, all factors match the sign of B. So our rules from the other day still apply to the positives and negatives here. Does everyone understand? So we are going to turn our paper over, and we're going to practice 2 more together, and then you're going to do 1 without me. Okay? So turn this over. This is 49B. Can you please stop talking while I'm trying to teach? Thanks so much. Alright, and our first one was example 1, so we're going to call this example 2. Alright, factor each trinomial. I'm so sorry that I'm not entertaining enough for you.
You're not.
Can you try to get it under control?
You sound so offended.
Alright, so our first one is 3x squared plus 17x plus 10. Now, before we do anything here, I want you to please tell me if there is a GCF for these 3 numbers.
No.
Okay, so that's what we need to do every time. We'll look for a GCF. Now, does this equal 1? Does the number out front of x squared equal 1? No. So now we use the star method. So look for the GCF, figure out if A equals 1. If not, use the star method. So everybody draw a star. We're going to pretend like Asbury knows how to draw a straight line. Now, if you forget what goes in your star, we're going to rewrite it up here at the top, just so you know. So what goes in the very top right here? A times C. Alright, what goes in the bottom? B. What goes on the top sides of the star? A and A. And then what goes on the bottom side? The factors. Look at us. It's like we can remember something from a day ago. Kind of. Well, we seem to be talking the entire time I'm trying to teach, so I don't quite know anymore. Now, first thing, what do we do for step 1? So A is 3, C is 10. If I multiply those together, what do I get? 30. Everybody write 30 up here. It's magic.
30.
All right, what do we write in the bottom? And that's 17. Awesome. Now, we're going to come to the side, and we're going to list all the numbers that multiply to give us 30. Tell me 2 numbers.
15 and 2. 30 and 9.
All right, if you gave a factor, give your team a point. Now, we need 2 numbers that multiply together to give us 30 and add to give us 17. What 2 numbers would that be?
15 and 2.
15 and 2. So where do we write those? On the bottom. Everybody write 15 here, 2 here. What do we write in the top of our star? And what's A? Awesome. All right, now we have to reduce our fractions. Which one does not reduce?
3 and 2.
3 and 2. So what are we going to do with those?
3
3x plus 2 in parentheses. Awesome. Does everybody see what I did? Are we sure? Okay, this fraction does not reduce. So since it does not reduce, we put it in the parentheses. Remember, we always have 2 parentheses. So since this one does not reduce, we put it in our parentheses with x. Now, over here, what goes into both 3 and 15? 5 does not go into 3. 3. 3 divided by 3 is? 15 divided by 3 is? So, x plus 5. And we're done. Does everybody understand? Nope. Doesn't matter. Now, it will matter when we get to negatives, but right now it doesn't. Are we ready? Are we sure? Let's do one more together just to be safe. And let's throw a negative in there. Can you not? Thanks, love you. Three x squared minus 11x minus 20. Now, is there a GCF of those 3 numbers? Does A equal 1? So what method are we going to use? The star method. Everybody draw your star. Okay. Now, what do we do first? And what's 3 times negative 20? Negative 60. Look at us go. What goes in the bottom of our star? Which is negative 11. Now, here's where our signs come into play. This is negative. This is negative. So our big factor must be what? Negative. Remember, your big factor matches this. And if you forget, I also wrote that at the front. Big factor matches this because we got to get a negative number. So let's go over here and list 2 numbers that multiply together to give us 60. Negative 30 and 2. Negative 20 and 3. Negative 10 and 6. Negative what? I'm sorry? Negative 60 and 1. Any that we're missing? 5 and 6 give us 60. What'd you say over there?
Negative 15 and 4.
Negative 15 and 4. Negative 12 and 5. Awesome. Oh. Now, we need to multiply together to get negative 60 and add to get what? So we know that those 2 aren't going to work. We know that this one isn't going to work. And we know that negative 10 and 6 isn't going to work. How do you know that's true? Because you add them, and you get negative 11. So where do we write those? On the bottom. Negative 15 and 4. What do we write on the top? Which is? Positive 3. Fantastic. Is everybody with me so far? Is anybody not with me? Okay, now step 1 was to multiply a times c. We did that and we got negative 60. Step 2, and we had to factor it. Step 2 was to figure out which one added to give us b. We got negative 15 and 4. This one right here. We put our factors in our star. Now we have to figure out what? You have to simplify. You have to reduce. Now, which fraction does not reduce? 3/4. So where do we put it? In our parentheses. And how do we write it? 3x plus 4. Alright, now what does 3 and negative 15 reduce to?
X minus 5.
So, x minus 5, and we're done. So the star helps you remember what to do when, and it also forces you to reduce. Is everybody ready to try one without me? Sounds so excited. Contain your enthusiasm, children. I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm sorry. Alright, I want to do, let's mix it up and throw in a 4. Alright, 4x squared minus 13x plus 10. Now, I'm going to be walking around, but before you can ask me for help, you have to try it on your own, look at your notes, and talk to your group. Is everybody with me? For my star, I started with 40, negative 13, 4, and 4. Yes, no, maybe. Alright, and then I need two numbers that multiply together to give us 40 and add to give us negative 13. So they both have to be negative because we need a positive C and a negative B. So that's negative 8 and what? Negative 5. Alright, which fraction does not reduce? 4 negative 5. So that's 4x minus 5. And then what does this reduce to? X minus 2. So 4 goes into both of those. So since 4 divided by 4 is 1, and negative 8 divided by 4 is 2, it's x minus 2. You're welcome. Have a good day.
Can you get a point if you got it right?
Yes. I would love to take a point. Thank you.
We don't.
I do.
So each point for everybody that died, right?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Wait, miss, can we go over today?
Say it to me again. Yes.
Yes, right. We can go over today.
We can go over every day now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because some of us are not getting points at all because we don't speak up. Alright. Did you just say that you don't speak up? Was that a serious statement?
I said us.
Okay.
I really don't.
That's not true.
No, we got.
Alternative facts.
This is probably.
Just let it go. Please try this one without me. And you're going to have homework this weekend. For my star, what did we... No, I don't remember that because I don't pay attention to that. Negative 18. What goes in the bottom? What goes in the top here? Alright, now we need two factors that multiply to give us negative 18 and add to give us... Look at you guys go! Alright, which one does not reduce? 2. No, it does not. And it's not over anything, guys. We're not cows, we're not over the moon. So 2x plus 3. What does this reduce to? X minus 3. Because that reduces to 1 and negative 3. Say it to me again. Is what ever going to reduce? Yeah. That's the point. No, that's the point. And if it does, So sometimes you may have something that reduces on both sides. If that's the case, that means you have a GCF here and you need to factor that out first.
Oh.
So you always look for a GCF first and then factor that out and then do your trinomial factoring. So that's why I've been saying that every time. Because if it reduces both here, you have a greatest common factor. Yes, ma'am. I did 2 divided by -6 and that gave me 1/3. Because 2 goes into both of those. Alright, Una más and then homework. Oh, yes, children, homework. Oh, okay. Now that we just talked about that, this is a great problem.
No, it's not. So this is homework?
Are we gonna do it together?
Ish. Together, ish. Okay. Now, the first thing that we have to look for is a GCF. Is there a GCF of this problem? What is it? Everybody factor out a 2. Everybody clap your hands. Alright, what's 4x squared divided by 2? 2. Okay. What's 22x divided by 2? What's 10 divided by 2? Now, once you get here, do the star method. So we factored out our GCF. A part of your final answer will be this 2. So you'll have 2, parenthesis, parenthesis. Now use your star method on this guy right here. Does everybody understand? Okay, I'm letting you do it without me. Yes. Look at the board. Alright, so I got 2 times 2x plus 1 times x plus 5.
You fucking did 10 and 1, and you said no.
I really wasn't listening to you.
I would have already had it right then.
Love you, sorry. Alright, so your homework this weekend. I don't know. Life is tough.
We get a point for that.
If you got it right, you get another point.
So we get another one. You got 5 today.
Hey, I got it right too. You get one.
Yes, yeah.
You get a
Alright, so for your homework, you have problems on the left side of the paper. I'm going to zoom out so we can see. You have problems on the left side of the paper. And you have to put 1 factor here and 1 factor here. If you turn it over, the factors are there for you to figure out which one goes where.
And we only have to do half the thing.
So if you don't get this right, if you don't find your factor, you did something wrong. You got to do it all by Monday.
But we only do half the thing. I'm going to look up the answer.
No, you have to do it all by Monday, like I just said.